Daniel, let's jump into our next segment, and that is called the flip, where we choose and take predictions, insight, and news, and we're going to debate them, maybe on stuff we don't even believe. So let's
What are we
jump.
going to talk about?
We are going to jump about, can iPhones be made in the US? Thank you for that prompt. All right, looks like I won here, and I am going to debate that iPhones can, in fact, be made in the United States. But first thing I want to do is give a little background, a little credibility builder here. I'm not one of these pretenders who get on TV and X, and one day a they're they're a pro on tariffs. The next day it's manufacturing, and then the next day it's peptide injections. I
That
spent
actually is exactly you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There we go.
Just
I
kidding.
spent no, I spent 20 years working for manufacturers of systems and for chips. I was part of the team at Compaq Computer that outsourced its manufacturing in mass with high volume to Taiwan and China, working with companies like Foxconn. By the way, my product was the most profitable desktop product they had seen in years. So it worked, and the quality was good enough for the market that we were going after, which was the consumer market. But with that said, here is why it iPhones can be manufactured in the U.S. And I want to get back to history here, right? Experts say things can't be manufactured in other countries, right? I already talked about, 1995, 1998. Experts said that China wasn't sophisticated enough to even do power supplies for desktop PCs. In 98, it was, hey, they can't do surface mount technology. Well, we've evolved a lot since then. Well, let's go to something more recent. 2017, Tim Cook said iPhones could only be manufactured in China. Ironically enough, India made the first iPhone SE in 2017. It's amazing how that happens. Also in 2017, experts said, and this is when Trump came in, that SMT in Mexico for servers and desktops would just be impossible. But here we are, most servers and desktop uh, for the United States are actually made in Mexico. 60% of US iPhones that could never be made outside of China are made in India. And most servers, again, now, what does this mean to an iPhone, which is radically smaller than a desktop or a server? The reality is they could be manufactured in the US, but they would have to make some changes. They would have to modify the industrial design to add more automation because we don't have enough workers here and factory engineers. So it would take a little bit more time. The ecosystem, which is some of the hardest, could take upwards of 5 years. And when you're rolling out the numbers, you can't say unit one. You have to do unit 1 million. And then what does the cost look? Spreading the costs across all of this capex. A couple other things that I want to put up is TSMC said 5 years ago there was no way it could do leading edge silicon inside of the US. And amazing, we've got tape outs on 4 nanometer out in Arizona. And what is harder, Daniel, than cranking out leading edge technology inside of a foundry? Oh, how about quantum, right? That seems pretty hard. Oh, guess what? We figured out how to do that. Hey, how about rockets? Bigger than any of the Apollo rockets that can actually land themselves. Some of them blow up upon reentry, some of them don't. But the fact that we can do this just shows that where there is a will, there is a way. I'm gonna end this just by saying that if Apple wanted to do this, it could. It's just not motivated. I would recommend that Apple sets up a $200 million research facility here in the United States to figure out how they could, in fact, manufacture iPhones effectively here in the US.
The idea of building an iPhone in the US is like a Kumbaya moment. It's a idea that maybe like ethanol would someday run our cars. It was a dream and it was a dumb one. And the thought that we will ever bring this type of manufacturing back is why we're continuing to embarrass ourselves on the world stage talking about trade. We have spent multi decades offshoring our entire supply chain, building the factories of the future by sending our dollars over to China, which has led to trillions of dollars in high automation and expansion of its manufacturing capacity. We've brought hundreds of suppliers into the China region that we could just never possibly get to move back. We haven't done the work on rare earths and other dependencies that are going to be required for the building of high tech componentry at scale. And of course, we have no idea how to build a specialized workforce here because we've had an entire multi decade pathway of taking all that type of skilled labor and sending it elsewhere. We're not even trying to create it anymore. So now we've created a world of nothing but millennials living in their parents' basements wanting to be influencers, and none of these people are going to help us slap together iPhones anytime soon. So yes, if we want $3,000 iPhones because that millennial is going to cost $65 an hour to work in some sort of high automated factory, or we want to spend hundreds of billions of dollars to actually back an industry of building automation here, what we haven't done for semiconductors, and we haven't done for anything else. So why all of a sudden, if I'm Tim Cook, would I trust in this administration, when no other administration over the past 40 years has spent any meaningful dollars to bring manufacturing here? And on top of it, now he knows it's a waiting game because if 3 or 4 more years go by and this tariff thing fails miserably, he could spend all this money. We end up with $3,000 iPhones. We have no workforce to actually staff these facilities. And by the way, I'm not even sure we have labor to build these facilities right now because our immigration policy here is so messed up. So we can't fix the workforce, can't make the supply chain work. Our cost of labor is much too high. We just don't have the infrastructure. And if we were going to build these factories, it's going to take a decade or more, just like it's going to take to build nuclear power here, because we messed that up too. And then regulation will get in the way because we'll probably have some radical judges that'll stop us from making progress, or will veto any plans or ideas or laws we put into place, and probably won't let us allocate dollars because those dollars need to go to USAID so we can help build more tunnels in Gaza. So the bottom line is whether this is feasible or not, I see this as completely improbable, unlikely, and there's just no way in hell any iPhones at scale are going to be built in the USA. But enjoy whatever the crack is you're smoking, Moorhead, because it would be really cool if someday we did.
Buddy, that was like the best I think I've ever heard you. I mean, I cackled at least 2 or 3 times.
Someone's going to see this and they're going to think that's what I believe too. There's going to be like an internet meme of me being like the pro China guy that says we should make everything there. By the way, one thing I 100% agree with you, Pat, is that we can absolutely build these outside of China. Like 100%, we can get this done. Like Musk, by the way, what he's done in the US with the gigafactories and building them, by the way, everywhere in the world. I know cars are not phones, but like in a year, he built those things in 11 months. He stood up some of these gigafactories in different parts of the world. Like it's a huge excuse that we can't do this. But you remember I shared with you earlier how much SMIC is funding? Like if we really want to do this, the US should take some of these hundreds of billions we keep appropriating for garbage and nonsense politics here in the US, and maybe we should spend some money helping bring real automation back.
I love it, man. Can I just say right off, you won this debate.
Uh,
I'm gonna throw myself upon the mercy of the court here. You cleaned up, but Daniel, hey, I'm making a long
Actually,
story.
I agree with you. Just so everyone knows, like I actually think we should try to bring back at least some of it. Like we've completely like we're stuck, man. We've completely become dependent on every other part of the world to make everything we care about. It's actually really messed up.
We have the biggest mistake we made, quite frankly, was in the '80s with and '90s with NAFTA, but we also got incredibly uncompetitive versus the Japanese, and they took over steel and they took over automaking. I mean, our cars were absolute trash from a quality perspective. They were too expensive. Unions drove up the costs to astronomical amounts, and then they just came in, and even the Midwest wanted to buy Toyotas and Hondas and stuff like that. And then what we didn't do is we didn't retrain anybody in the Midwest to do this, right? And then there's no, there should be no wonder why the highest addiction rates are there in Toledo and Cleveland, and Dayton, Ohio is the meth capital of the United States.
We told all the kids to go get philosophy degrees and just trash education programs for huge debt. Yeah, we could go on and on, but we did fumble the ball. You can agree, disagree with how we're trying to fix it, but man, did we fumble that ball. And Pat, I'm going to actually play host just for 2 seconds here. There's a lot of market to cover today. So I know we want to hit our bulls and bears, and I know you've got a hard stop. So I'll stop talking about this, but that was fun.